Hey everyone, welcome again to our YouTube channel. My name as usual is Daniel from the Okema Empire. I'm here today to discuss about apartments in the United States. This has been a question that has been fronted by many of you that I talk about the apartments in the United States. And I know majority or a good number of Americans live in apartments. Only few people own houses or homes here in the United States. You as an immigrant, when you come to the United States, there are high chances, almost 90%, that you will end up living in an apartment. So, for you as a new immigrant, when you come here, you will take long time, let's say probably 3 to 4 years for you to decide or to think of owning a house in the United States, because you need to save good money that will enable you put down that amount as a down payment or a deposit for you to own a house. You also need to build good credit before you go for mortgage. You also need a time like 2 to 3 years to 4 years. You file your taxes for those 3 years, and your records now are in the system that you have done your tax returns for like 3 years, and you have got no problem with the authority. Then all those three things are the ones that they look at before you apply for a mortgage and for you to own a house or a home in the United States. Those are some of the challenges that immigrants face that will force them to stay in an apartment for a given period of time before they apply for a mortgage and get a house or a home. I know owning a house in the United States, it also varies or depends on one's priority. We have those ones who can take the shortest time possible, like 3 to 4 years, as I said, and then they start applying or owning a house. And there are those ones who take 10 years, 15 years, or others will say there is no need of applying for a mortgage or owning a house in the United States. So it also depends on one's priority and what you like to do with your income. So let's move to the apartments. Apartments here in the United States, they are expensive. Much of our income, like a quarter of your income will end up going to pay rents for the apartments. Apartments here varies from, let's say, 800 to 2500 US dollars per month. It also depends on the state you are living. It also depends on the city where you live. So you may live in a state where the apartment rents are low, but within that state we have cities where we have apartments prices are high. So it will depend on the locality and where you live. It also depends on the utilities that are provided either for free within those apartments or those utilities that you pay. When we talk about utilities here, we mean electricity, water, garbage, you pay for it. At apartments, you pay for electricity, you pay for garbage collection, and other apartments, you only pay for electricity, garbage is free, and water is free. So it will depend. Those ones which provide those things for free, apart from electricity, you may get that their prices are high. And those apartments that where you pay for your water and pay for your garbage, you get that the rents are low, but at the end of the day, when you pay for your water bill, You also pay for your garbage collection. You get that the amount, when you balance and add up to what you pay per month, it will be almost equal to those ones who pay high for garbage and also for water, which is free. So it will depend on which utilities are free and which utilities are provided or you pay for. Also, the prices for the apartments will depend on the locality. Apartments that are located far away from services like school systems, where we have got low or poor road connections, where we have got poor health services, their prices tend to go low because most people will shun up taking up those apartments because everyone here will like to stay in a place that is safe for himself or herself and the family, or where you can easily access transport system, where your kids can access education system freely, where transport system is free for the kids to school, and where you can access health services so conveniently. Those ones who will be new immigrants here, you must make sure that if you are with a family, you pick apartments that are close to schools, so that you are able to take the kids to school, or they can be picked by the school buses to school. Look at places where you can easily commute if you have not owned a vehicle in the United States. Look at the health facilities. What if you fall sick? Will you be able to access these health services so conveniently? So make sure that you look at that: a school system, health services, transport system, and places where crime rates are low. No one will like to stay in a place where you cannot stay out for the night and come home and you get that people are attacking you, or you get people who are mugging you on the way. So that's why we say that you must be very keen when you pick an apartment and wherever you stay. You may decide to go for those cheaper ones, but you must understand the consequences that comes with them. So that's why you get that the low prices apartments are those ones with those negative effects or negative things that are underlined above. So for those ones who will be migrating here, where will you be staying is a big question. When you get your host information, key in the host's address in Google. Then from there you'll get the information about the city and the state where your host stay. Learn more about it. Learn about school system. How many schools are close to where your host stay? How many hospitals are close to where your host stays? How are the road transport system where the host stay? How are the crime rates in the city or town where your host stay? So that you get this information prior to you moving to the United States. So that when you come to the United States, you have a clear picture on where you are going to and where you want to stay. So that if you move with your family, you know that this place is a safe place for me. I may also later on get an apartment close to where my host stays, or because of the negative activities or points that you have read online about this town or city, you will say, I will stay with my host for a given specific amount of time. Then after that, when I will be moving to my apartment, I pick on a town that is safe for you and your family. So get this information, do your research, be aware of the place you are going before you migrate to the United States. So guys, for those ones who have been asking about apartments here are expensive. And apartments here, they normally say anyone who is 18 years should have a room. People have been asking that some apartments will not allow you to stay more than 5 members. Then they were asking, is that one correct? To some extent, that one is correct. If you are more than 2 adults in an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, you will not be allowed to occupy that apartment. They normally tend to say that each person should have his room in an apartment. But a 2-bedroom apartment can host a spouse, you as a family, wife and husband, and kids. And anyone who is above, if you have a kid above 18 years, will not be allowed to stay there. That kid is able to get his or her own apartment. And if you own a dog, a cat, or a pet in that manner, you must pay an extra $80 to $100 per month for that. So guys, when you come here, you make sure that you get an apartment, read the conditions and rules pertaining to renting of that apartment, because they always want to know the names of the occupants of your apartment. You must write your spouse's name, your kid's name and ages. So that's how they get to know who lives in the apartment and who is supposed to pay for that. And when you have so many kids, sometimes the apartments will go high, the rates will go high. And it also depends what time of the year you got the apartment. There is times when we have high season and low season. If you entered in an apartment during a low season, you pay less. And the same person in your neighborhood or in an opposite apartment, in the same compound, who entered in the same apartment different time of the year during high season, will be paying more than the one who entered the apartment in the low season. So we have high season and low season times when you enter or when you lease these apartments. Same apartment, same rooms, same everything, same utility, but you get that people are paying different amount of rent and yet in the same leasing company. So it will depend what time of the year when you entered into that apartment. Those who enter the apartment in low season pay less. Those who enter in high season, they pay high. So guys, those are some of the facts that you need to understand about apartment leasing and apartment renting. I hope I've tried to move from high to low. I also tried to talk about what they look at the city and the state and so many other points. So it's upon you now. You can also do your own research so that you get to understand more about these apartments and what you want as a person or as a family. Guys, thank you for watching this video. Until next time, I say bye. And for those ones watching us for the first time, please make sure you subscribe. By so doing, you make us grow as a family and you encourage us make more videos for others to learn and for you to learn more other things in the United States. Thank you and may God bless you all. Bye.